Hi, everyone. Susan Gerbic. It is Operation Gobble Gotcha Day, and I'm trying to distract myself. So I'm going to finish up the readings that Daniel John um, had done a few days ago for the Helping Parents Heal group. Now, normally I'd say these videos are standalone and you could go in and watch one and it'll make sense. Well, I think that this might be a little different only because Daniel John said at the beginning of his um, readings is that he does hop, skip, and wait, what did he call it? Skipping? Gosh, I took so many notes. He's called it piggybacking or postcards. So what he said in one reading might apply to another reading. So maybe not. This might blend from the other one into this one. I'm not really sure, but it's always really interesting to look at the different styles that these mediums use. This one from the first video I did is we found that he is quite winded. He did about a 20-minute reading for somebody that I thought would be, normally a psychic does maybe a 6 to 10 minute reading. So over 20 minutes is very long. Also, he brought in a lot of common names. He says he only gets impressions, but yet whenever I'm reading this through, watching it, he did a lot of visual stuff. So I don't know where he got just impressions. I guess that's a way of copping out if you don't get it exactly right. He also did this thing twice with this woman he gave a reading to. He'll say a number. He said 15, and then later on he said 13, and the number relates to like the number 15, or it could be January 5th, or it could be somebody was 15 years old, or what was the other? Or it could be 2015. So with all those choices, people have a lot to cover. And then he did the same thing with 13. It could be the number 13. It could be somebody who's 13 years old. It could be 2013. It could be January 3rd. So that's a lot there. People's names, all kinds of stuff, very generic names. And I mean, we know now that a Dorito chip is supposed to be a triangle, which is a symbol for like a threesome or three people in a relationship or infidelity. It's kind of broad. And a ladder, like a ladder that would be used for a firefighter, is symbolic of moving up and um, progressing, I guess, in your life. So, all right. So we're going to try this video. This is the same. It's all recorded a few days ago. I'm recording this on the 26th of November, the day before Thanksgiving, and 2025. And so, you know, I don't know. I don't know what to expect if he's going to do the same kind of idea that he did with the last one with the numbers and the names, or if he's and it goes on, or maybe he's going to try to squeak in, shorter readings. I sure hope so. If he makes the shorter readings, I'm only going to look at one reading. So if he goes on for 20 minutes, it's a 20-minute reading. If it's a 5-minute reading or a 10-minute reading, then I'm going to stop and make another video for the next reading because I think that's the best way of looking at these. So I've heard only from one of you guys who's had any comments, and thank you so much, Kiwi. Yeah, so please leave me comments below the YouTube video because I really like seeing those in one place. If I do decide to write an article about the person or the event, and I want to be able to go back and look at the notes of what I took and what you guys said, I like to have them in one place. It's just simpler. All right, let's see what we can do with this.
And I think you know how to do it. So just Elizabeth at helpingparentsheal.org. It was an amazing reading. Thank you so much, Daniel, as well.
Um, Gosh darn it. Oh man. Oh, this is tough. All right. I apologize in advance. I have a soul here to took it upon themselves. They're showing me a guitar. They're also giving me an E name, like Eva or Everett or Evelyn. They're showing me Care Bears, and they're going through all the symbols, and they're, I would say that they were happy, and then they were sad, then they were depressed, then they were, it was very volatile as far as when they were here. Um, and there is a strong message behind it that I'll wait until I figure out who this is for. And I'm gonna be honest that they're saying, they're a little more serious than the other guy was, but they're like, I'm not in a bad place. You would think, given the situation, maybe by your beliefs, that they may be in some bad place, but they're not. So who's connect? I'm so sorry. Who's connecting with this?
So
I think
we have Emily saying, my son took his life. My name is Emily, and I'm learning the guitar. And then Jen is saying, my son is Eli, took his life, played the guitar, very depressed. So,
I'm not sure which one. I'm not getting a feeling. It could be both. Maybe you can put them both on the screen.
sure.
Those are
Okay.
sure.
validating.
So Jen A and Emily Bill.
Emily, okay. I got Emily first, and then I'll get Jen A.
Here we go.
Hey,
Welcome.
Thanks.
Okay. Prayers to you both. I do feel like there's multiple, and I think maybe one or both of you will connect to these things, so I'm just gonna say them out loud. I also kind of, just for my legal purposes, want you both to agree that this is okay, 100% for me to share with what I'm feeling, sensing with you.
Yeah.
If I can get a verbal yes.
Yes.
Okay. The very first thing, so I got to take a step back. When I first started this work, there was a very strong theme of every single thing that I say provides, and it comes from them. I don't take any credit for it, but it provides healing and peace and love. I don't understand how this could, but I'm also not going to decide, interfere, or try to mitigate the message from Spirit. So I have to share this, and I don't know which one it's for, and I apologize in advance. It's important for one of you to know, and I think you know, or both of you, it's important to know they didn't mean to do it. Okay. Now, I don't know how that could, because then my fear, the other side is, well, if you didn't mean to, you could be here. What I've learned in this work is that when it's your time, it's your time. In other words, if you were in a space where you felt like you wanted to do this, you wouldn't be able to. That's why there's a lot of failed attempts every day throughout the country, because it's not their window of time. If they succeeded, it was within the window of time they agreed to leave. So I don't want you to think that by them saying I didn't mean to do it, it doesn't take away from the fact that it wasn't their time to go. Do you understand this?
No, it makes perfect sense to me because in Eli's case, he was not rational because he had a mental health process going on. So he had delusions. And so he has come through before in the past saying that in that sense, it was a mistake, an accident, a regret, but that there was nothing else that could have happened, that
Okay.
kind of thing.
Okay. So if you can take that to Emily.
Yeah.
Okay, let's pause for a moment. I want to write this down, but I was really paying attention to what he's saying. Again, just like with the video he did before, where he said that there's a plan for everything and it's perfect. That really pissed me off. Now he's saying that there's a window. Okay, I'm trying to write this down. There is a window that you will, I guess you will die in. Help me out, you guys. And okay, so he's saying that you're going to die at a certain time, at a certain with this window of time. And if you're not in that window of time, it will be a failed attempt. Okay. So no free will, I guess. Okay, I'm thinking this over. It will fail. That's why there's so many failed attempts. And I guess what he's saying, if you stop them, and I'm not just talking about if they unalive themselves, I'm saying like they were meant to die, and they're gonna, and if it's not the machine at work that does it, then it will be a car accident on the way home, or a drug allergy does it to you, or your heart stops because you have a heart attack and you're alone and you don't get help. Is that what he's saying? That you're going to die in this window of time and nothing you can do about it? That's just what happens. I'm pretty sure that's what he's saying. And that's a bunch of BS. Wow. Wow. This guy's something else. Okay, let's go back. See how the mothers are trying to make it fit, though. He's got two women up there and he's going back and forth between them. And it's going to, I guarantee this is going to be, both women are going to get something out of this because it was so vague. What about the Care Bears?
Well, it's hard to do it with two. Hold on. It's hard to do it because are you giving me names that could apply to both? All right, I'm just gonna say I'm gonna kind of not ask for as much validation and just give it. I gotta say Doug, D-O, like Doug or Donald. There's a D-O connection. Donna or Douglas. This is only with you two though. They wouldn't hop to someone else. Do either of you know that could D-O connection? Donna, Douglas, Donnie. Okay, I'm gonna say
Nothing's coming.
if neither of you connect with it, it's Doug. There's a Doug connection. The name could be living or past, but there's a Doug. Oh, it's just hard with two. All right, just hold on. All right, I'm gonna say there's a Doug and there's a Cindy, and I don't know if those names are connected, but they come through together. There is something about a necklace. I don't know if either one of you are wearing one, but there's a necklace connection to kind of remind you that like you're never unlinked from them. I also have, oh, you have one. Okay. I
No.
also want to kind of share with, I think this is for both of you. I'm just gonna pretend that one person's on the screen, but I think I'm speaking to both of you. There's an aspect that you need to know that you're a great mom. There's really nothing that you could have done better to produce this wonderful child. And one of them is making me feel like they were a highly I'm just gonna say this, no judgment, highly successful and really like really had it. The other one struggled to try to be like that, but it didn't change the way for either one of them that you did whatever you could to give everything you had. It's almost like you poured everything you had into this person, and then it turned out this way. But there's nothing more you could have done to be better. So when it comes to any guilt or responsibility to anything that happened, you couldn't have done any better. I hope you guys appreciate and understand this. One of them's talking about wafers. Wafers. I see wafers. I don't know if they love them.
Devin liked to make tiramisu.
Oh, okay. Is that with I don't know. Is it with wafers? Do you make that with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now with your person was also named an E, Emily?
Well, my name is Emily.
Yeah, and then was your person that passed an E as well?
No.
Okay, that's okay. Did you guys do that together, the tiramisu thing?
No, he got into cooking while he was working on mental health.
Okay. Um, I know you say no, but there's something cooking related or related to what
We both like to cook, yeah.
you did do together, it feels like. So I don't
Yes.
know if you're but he's just mentioning the time together and some good memory. Funny, there was a really period of time where he was really doing well. I hope you understand this, where he was,
He was.
just because it got to that point doesn't mean that you failed. In fact, if anything, you one of them saying you deserve a medal for how much you put up and dealt with and stuck up for him. In fact, one of them sharing with me that one of you lost friends because of him. Yeah, I don't want to validate that for understanding, but that you stuck up for him so much that you actually lost some relationships because of it. Do either of you or both of you understand that? Okay, one of you. But it still allowed you to have that time together. And again, I'm gonna speak to as one, but there's a lot of time spent with the soul. We spent a lot of time together, quality over quantity kind of way. And yes, there were some low lows, but there were some really high highs. And we have pictures of those. We have times of those. One of them's mentioning their sister. Um, does one of them have a sister?
So
Okay.
it's really odd. I don't want to overshare, but my son has a brother, but he always comes up as a sister and he has a lot of feminine energy.
Okay.
So
Is he out? Is he gay?
he's bisexual,
Oh,
but
well that,
he has like a very feminine side and every time that they say, is it a sister? Is it a sister? Is it a sister? So I don't know if that's a thing.
what's the name?
Cole, stop it.
Yeah, CL. I got the name I
Amazing.
got was
Okay, I'm gonna look at that again. What a face. Wait.
I don't want to validate that for understanding, but that you
Watch
stuck
his
up for him
writing
so
hand.
much that you actually lost some relationships because of it. Do either of you or both of you understand that? Okay, one of you. But it still allowed you to have that time together. And again, I'm gonna speak to as one, but there's a lot of time spent with the soul. We spent a lot of time together. Quality over quantity kind of way. And yes, there were some low lows, but there were some really high highs. And we have pictures of those. We have times of those. One of them's mentioning their sister. Um, does one of them have a sister?
So
Okay.
it's really odd. I don't want to overshare, but my son has a brother, but he always comes up as a sister and he has a lot of feminine energy.
Okay.
So
Is he out? Is he gay?
he's bisexual,
Oh,
but
well that,
he has like a very feminine side and every time that they say, is it a sister? Is it a sister? Is it a sister? So I don't know if that's a thing.
what's the name?
Cole, stop it.
Okay, very
Yeah,
good.
CL. I got the name I
Amazing.
got was Claudia, but Cole's sister, that's where it is right here. It's all next
That's
to the house on the
amazing.
necklace. Yeah, he's amazing, right? So whoever that is, I will tell you he's very or your person, again, I don't know male female, as you could tell, is very pleased of I don't know if he she whatever they are doing
He,
well. Yeah,
he,
I'm pronouns. I'm telling you, I'm writing my third book, and the pronoun thing, it's a whole thing. So anyway, there's an aspect of is he doing well? Because
very,
I feel like he's like,
yes.
or
And
he it's just like and I feel like it's because he's comfortable in his skin, and he just
he
is
is
who he is, and there he is, and he's this your person is
Eli. Yeah.
awkward, a little awkwardly funny because and I don't mean awkwardly because spirit jokes about death in a way that as humans I feel people would feel uncomfortable, but he's kind of joking in a way like and I'll have to excuse me, but at least you got the good one. At least you got the one who's going to bring, light up your, and not that I didn't, but I was such a pain in the ass, he says. And this one's kind of really, blossoming. And I don't mean that insensitively, but I think it honors his personality. I hope it does.
It does.
Okay.
Yes. He was anything but a pain in the ass, but that's something he would say.
But he would say that as long as he would say that. But no, he's kind of double, and it got to the point where there was some aspects that as a mother you couldn't see or wouldn't admit to see that there were some things that were very, very hard.
Yes,
with
very
me.
much.
And I want you to know that I love you, and I'm so thankful that you were able to kind of stick with me through all that. Okay. And
Thank you.
for 1 second, don't you think that
Okay, so that was really good. If it happened the way we saw it, we went back and looked. So he had written down CL and then cis and had a circle around it. And I think he had done that beforehand. Whether he's showing you the right paper, he looks, oh, and he could have had a whole bunch of different things on here, and just put it up to the screen like that. He could have had multiple papers and he just showed the one part of the paper that had that on there. He could have written ahead of time, knowing full well that he was going to say CL for a sister. So let me see if I can explain this better. Like if I had taken my notebook here right now, or several notebooks, and I had gone ahead and put like a DO and then circled it and put a brother and put it on one part of my paper, and then put on another part of the paper, it would be like CL cis, and then maybe circled it, and then maybe somewhere else in the middle, a little farther away from it, I might have wrote TI and then circled it and wrote brother, sister, and just kept doing that across the paper and just had that prepared ahead of time. I could just lift it up and go, oh my gosh, and then find the part that, go like that. So that's possible. And made it look like he had been writing, because it looked like, he's got his pencil and his pen in his hand, and he's like, oh, so, and it looks like he's writing, but he doesn't have to be actually writing. So anyway, that's a magic or trick or a mentalism trick. It could be done that way, or it could legitimately be speaking to the dead and he got the CL. But anyway, that looks very smooth. That's very good. So what do we got here so far? He's going through these two mothers who are both grieving from their son's death. And he does say it was your child, which we know it's a child because they're in a group called Helping Parents Heal, which is a group that provides mediums and says that they're healing grief by letting you talk to your dead loved ones. And I guess they have some other mission statement. I don't know what it is, because all we see seems to be is lectures about people from mediums or spirit people who are spirits, believe in life after death of this sort, in communication. Some are readings, some are just lectures, but okay, so goes on, and this is very typical of most psychic mediums, as they say how their the mom was wonderful. Your child is saying how wonderful you were as a mom, and there's nothing you could have done differently, and so on. Both of these children unalived themselves. Both of these sons unalived themselves through because of mental illness. It's really sad. This one about the daughter is so strange. And so these are people who get multiple readings, obviously. And she says, I don't want to overshare, and then goes ahead and overshares. I'm sure their child would love that. And I'm not covering any of this up because this is a public video. They put it out on their channel. It's publicly available. And that all the parents know that, right? And then they know these are going up on the YouTube channel and so on, and it's open. It's not just for members or anything like that. Okay. So one child, okay. When Jen says, oh, it's interesting that you said that you think he has a sister, because in another reading or other readings I've done, they've also thought there was a sister. And so that's just cold reading basics. Somebody's messing up. That's not like, she's making it sound like, oh, well, they have feminine energy, and then because they're bisexual, that's going to make them feminine. I'm not so sure about any of that, but I don't want to go there, but I don't think that's how it works. So some psychic has told her there's a sister, and your son had a sister, and then to cover up, that psychic said, yeah, well, I think that child of yours has a lot of feminine energy. And so she's been told that before. She's been told that before because this guy's cold reading, and the psychic before her was cold reading. So before this one was also cold reading, and maybe even others. I mean, that's how you cover up, by saying, oh, they have feminine energy. And this bisexual stuff is a little, yeah, I don't think so. Energy, what does that mean? Feminine energy. I have male energy, I have female energy, I have all kinds of energy. I have cat energy. What does that even mean? It means absolutely nothing. That's what it means. All right. So this thing about wafers, so this kind of fits the reading he did earlier, where he was talking about Lucky Charms and all kinds of really odd things that he's just throwing out there, like free association, and hoping it fits. So wafers, well, Emily says, oh, that makes sense because my son liked to make tiramisu, which has wafers in it. So see the level that a person will go to make it fit. I was thinking the wafers would have had something to do with the Catholic Church and, you know, the little wafers they get. And that might have been where he was going, but it made sense to Emily. Also, this idea of Doug, Donald, Donna, Douglas, Donnie, living or past, will connect to this person. And he's got 2 women there. So I'm really surprised he didn't have more hits, because Doug, Donald, Donna, Douglas, Donnie, and it's in your life, and it could connect to either of those women, living or dead. That's an awful lot of chances of getting something. All right, so let's continue. Please be almost over. I don't think so.
You could have done any better. And it's weird because part of you knows this, but then the human part of you struggles, like, could I have done this? Could I have done that? So I think that at least you understand that there's a portion of you that there isn't more you could have done, and you accepted that. He wants to kind of double down on that and let you know that.
Yeah.
That was a cool opportunity. Thank you for doing that. Someone mentioned the fast food. Because when I said double, they showed me a double burger and double hash brown. You know, I got to tell
I don't know.
supersize me or something like that.
That relates to Eli. Emily, does that relate for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, can you be a little more specific? How do you double burger or double McDonald's or something?
So, go ahead, Emily.
No, go ahead.
Oh, in Eli's case, he fasted for 18 days before he died. But then when he stopped the fast, it's like he went in the other direction, and he just ate McDonald's 24/7, because I think he had given up already. And so in his brain, he was like, I might as well just eat all the McDonald's I want. And so we found just his car was full of McDonald's trash.
Oh my gosh.
Sad, but accurate.
I know, but can I give you the message of how it could not be sad, because in a way the soul knew it was going, and
Yes.
it had to get it all in, and you can't have
Yes.
McDonald's in heaven. They don't have that shit there, he says. So I don't know if he swore, but I always honor the spirit.
Yeah.
But you know, along with that message is thank you for letting me be me. And I know that the cleanup was hard. I watched you, and you cried, and you listened to music, he says, and he played you music. But you have gotten so strong through this, Mom, and you've been able to you've developed this. I don't know, I don't see this about you energy, because I don't do psychic readings. I'm picking up energy from you. I'm allowing spirit to come through for me. But he makes me feel like you've gotten so strong from the perspective of, hey, I'm gonna be me, and I've gone through hell and back, and
True.
you can like me and take me for who I am, or you don't, and guess what? That's completely fine. I have lost a child, who I know is still with me in spirit, but I'm not going to let anyone hold me back from going to Helping Parents Heal, or going here, or going to a medium, or whatever, because that's what I want to do. And you've done it in a loving way, not in a chip on the shoulder way. And so I think he wants to let you know he's very proud of you. Yes, it creeps in a little bit, like, hey, I'm me, I don't, you know, but for as a whole, you know, you understand this message he's saying. He's very proud of you for being strong.
100%. Yeah. It's my 0Fs era.
Good. It's wonderful. And I don't mean to leave you out, Emily. I just hopefully
No, you're fine.
hopefully you're taking this. Okay. Now who is someone, so okay, they might take turns here, but who's thinking or just chop their hair? Someone just showed me like, boop.
Boop.
Yeah,
Yep.
but that's kind of longer. I mean, did you just was it long a lot longer and you just recently cut it?
Yep.
How like
Yeah. About
4 inches out? Okay.
4 or 5, 6, something
Okay.
like that.
6, 7. Just kidding. I had to do it once. Okay. So did you do that recently within the last month?
2 weeks ago.
Okay. All right. Do you have a good relationship with your barber or your hairstylist?
She's my cousin.
Okay. Has he ever come through for her before? Like, have you ever been sitting in the salon and she like gave you a little message or something?
No.
Okay. But you are close with her. Did he know her?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think she has some skills, mediumship wise. So if she ever gets a message for you or for anyone else, maybe your person could give her permission to pass on a message. I've actually noticed a lot of like hairstylists and people like that actually have some gifts. And I think maybe she said something to you one time that maybe you don't remember, or, oh, you're fun. Oh, he or she's fun. So don't say anything to your person, your hairstylist. But next time you go, listen for some clues.
Okay.
What's the hairstylist name?
Christy.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's a stretch. That's a stretch for me, but I wrote T. So Chris T, but they don't usually do that. So there must be another T name for you as well, like Tina or Tiffany or something like that, who he would also want to say hello to, or Todd,
Okay.
Tally. Do you know who the T is, or it's
Let's just take a quick look at that paper again. See if I can get right on it. I don't know.
Christy.
yeah.
You could be
All right.
writing it
Well,
with his right hand right now.
That's a stretch. That's a stretch for me, but I wrote T.
Hair T. See, he could have written that before, and knowing he was going to go to a hair. Well, he's the one that brought up the. Did you get your hair cut recently? Right. So I think he's got things written on the paper ahead of time, and he might have written the T right as she said something. But I think the paper is already prepared, and he knows where he's going to go with these. He's the one that reached out and said there's a sister energy. And then he's the one that reached out and said that something about hair cutting. So this looks like this is something he tends to do. And that paper's got all kinds of stuff written on it.
So Chris T, but they don't usually do that. So there must be another T name for you as well, like Tina or Tiffany or something like that, who he would also want to say hello to, or Todd,
Okay.
Tally. Do you know who the T is, or it's for either? I don't know if it's for either of you, but it's like Tiffany or Tina. I think it's Ti. Timmy. I would say Ti. Neither of you connect with a Ti?
Well, the name Tim comes up in it every time he's ever come through, and we don't know who it is yet.
Oh, seriously? Well, to me, that's validation only because you know something's coming.
Yes.
Okay. That's a weird thing to show me. Who just bought the dog treats?
Who just what?
Bought the dog treats or the dog bones?
I was just giving my dog treats out of a jar right before this reading. I don't know if that's
Like the little bone things, like the little.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I think it might be just a vow. Did he know the dog?
He was very close to her. Very,
You-
very close to her.
You keep taking good care of her, he says. I don't want you to get sad at this, okay? Is the dog a little older?
And not a little. She's over 14.
Oh, thank God. Oh, because I got a
Yes.
message because he says she's going to be with me soon, and I didn't want to give you that message if she was like 4, you know.
Nope.
So I don't want you to be
Good.
sad. I don't want you to be sad, but I'm going to tell you, he's funny.
Mhm.
Like, Ma, would you want her to be with anyone else? You know, I'm
Nope.
going to wait for her. So and yeah, all doggies go to heaven, he says. He's funny. But I'll be there for her. And you let her go. Let her come to me when the time comes. And I don't
Thank
really,
you.
to be honest with you, and I know you said 14, but he's making me feel like it's, spend time with her and keep giving her the bones and take care of her. But you'll know when the time is. But in the meantime, just enjoy. But he's kind of funny. Like, I get her soon, he says.
Thank you.
You connect with the chocolate chips, or just buy chocolate chips, or Something with the chocolate chips. For you, Emily? No, neither? Okay.
No.
Something about chocolate chip cookies. Chocolate chips.
I mean, he loved chocolate chip cookies. I don't know how evidential that is because a lot of people do, but
Who doesn't, right? Yeah. Okay. Did you make them for him?
yes,
You make a good chocolate chip cookie?
yes.
Soft. It's a soft
If I
one.
do say so myself.
Okay, yeah, I think he's just very I think it's a way to validate the thankfulness for all you do and all you did for him and all you continue to do for him. Whatever you're doing for him, it's gonna kind of grow. I don't know if you're doing something in memory of him or if you have a golf tournament, or I know a lot of parents like will do, but whatever you do is going to continue to grow at a good rate. So just keep going with it. Yeah,
That's
whatever.
great.
You understand that?
Yes, very much.
And Scott or Steve, it's an ST. Scotty, Stevie, Scarlett, Stephanie, it's ST. Steven, Stacy. What has an L in it? So Slater? Slater?
My gosh, I mean, I know a Scott, I know a Stephanie, but I don't know that would be connected enough.
The one that he knew? The Stephanie or Scott that he knew?
Through me, sort of, yeah.
Anything with them recently with Stephanie or Scott?
I mean, I was just talking about Scott today. He's someone I used to know he's not in heaven, but he's not in my life anymore. And I was just literally talking about him at dinner.
And
So,
was Scott the first name I said? I think it was. Why don't, if you talked about him and you listened back to the recording and Scott was the first name I said, it might be beneficial to reach out or reconnect with him for some reason,
oh,
you know?
that makes sense.
Yeah. Anything else? Anything else? The necklace. I know you connected with that, Emily. Don't ever feel for 1 second that the personalities are different. But he wants you to kind of remind you that don't think for 1 second that I'm not with you. They're playing me Tears in Heaven by Eric Clapton, so I don't know if either one of you connect with that song.
Mhm.
And I'm seeing a Hershey Kiss. So what's up with the chocolate? So I must have missed. So chocolate chip cookies, yes, we gave the message. There's something with Hershey's or Hershey Kisses. I'm seeing like the same thing, just a little bigger. So yes, it doesn't mean that the chocolate chip message wasn't accurate, but is there something with Hershey Kisses for you, Emily, or for you, or the chocolate thing that looks like a chocolate chip?
No.
Anything with Hershey, Pennsylvania, or Hershey Park?
I have a Hershey's
No.
Kisses thing, but I give them out. I work with kids and I have Hershey's Kiss, huge thing of Hershey's Kisses in my office. And
Okay, stop, because I thought I was going to mention work anyway. And now, thank you. Your son's a very good communicator. Are you open for anything?
yeah,
This is really exhausting. Okay. Can't even imagine. So where do I leave off here? The hairstylist was just freaking bizarre. Okay, we already talked about that. And then he gets a Todd, Tiffany, Tina, or Timmy. And Jen comes up with she says Tim comes up every time she gets a reading and the sun comes through. In other words, she's getting a cold reader who she goes, I don't know what Tim is. We don't have any reference to Tim, but he comes up all the time. She's seeing cold readers. So that's what it is. Tim's a very common name. Who just got dog treats? I think he said at the store. And Jen says, I just gave my dog treats right before the reading. Well, I give my cats treats all the time too. So Son says the dog will be coming soon after the medium finds out that the dog is actually 14. And chocolate chips and this whatever, and he gets out that the son is she actually did make chocolate chip cookies for the son at one point. Now the son is saying, thank you, Mom. Goodness gracious. This one, I think I missed a couple names. Scott, Scarlett, Stephanie, Stacy, Stephen, Slater. I think there was one or two more that he mentioned that I just didn't write them down fast enough. And Jen says that she was just talking about an old friend named Scott at dinner. And so the medium says maybe you should renew that friendship, reach out again. Now again, this guy says he only gets impressions. He only gets impressions, but he just said that Spirit is playing a song for him. And he's named the song. I don't even remember what it was. I didn't write it down fast enough. But the Spirit is playing a song for him. So how is that getting an impression? So the guy is very clear about saying these are impressions, but then he keeps going up with stuff that's supposed to be specific, as if he's seeing or hearing it. Because he just said they're playing that song for him. How do you get an impression of somebody playing a song? I don't know. Okay. Hershey kisses. That doesn't make any sense to either of these women. You know, kisses, little chocolate kisses. So then he says, well, does it have anything to do with Hershey, Pennsylvania, or Hershey Park? I don't know. Is that a baseball stadium somewhere? And the woman says, I'm a teacher. I have a big thing of Hershey kisses at work. And he says, that's it. Because I was getting the word work. Okay, whatever. Let's go back. Oh, I gotta hit the button.
Yes.
Work's gonna there's gonna be some changes at work. There's gonna be some new things, maybe some you just be on the lookout when you feel inspired to leave or move when it comes to work. Don't let work hold you back from doing what you really want to do. In other words, if you want to move or you want to go somewhere, but you can't because of work, don't let that hold you back. And no offense to your, because obviously your kids are lucky because it sounds like you're amazing. I don't know what you do, if you're a teacher, a nurse, or whatever, but you can leave them the little treats and then go do what you need to do. Have you been doing it a long time? I mean, you look young,
Very.
but okay.
22. Oh God, no, I don't. 22 years at this job. Yeah, as a
Just
school
just a
clinician.
couple years there. I'm lucky to have you.
Just a few years. Yeah.
Lucky to have you, and you are valued. I don't know if you know that, but he makes me feel like people really do value you. So just in case you're wondering, and I think you know that. But when it comes down to it, work comes second. This is very important.
That makes, I understand why that's coming through.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Hey, I hope you got enough from this, Emily, and I think you really did, Jen. I hope it helped you. Let me ask you, what is your son's name? Or daughter's name? Oh, it's okay.
Emily,
You're
You-
muted.
You're muted, Emily.
Yeah, I think she was
Okay.
trying.
Sorry, can you repeat that now?
I hope you got some piggybacking. I think a lot of that was for the other person, but what's
Mhm.
your child's name so I can just see if I can get anything specific for you.
Devin.
Devin. Right, yeah, that's funny. Well, yeah, anything with mushrooms.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
big time.
Okay, because sometimes they show me mushrooms. They say I'm a fun guy, But why would he show me, or he show or her? Devin, I guess could be either one.
He.
Why would he? Okay, Why would he show me mushrooms?
We liked hunting for morel mushrooms. He
Oh.
likes cooking mushrooms, and he took a lot of mushrooms right before he passed.
Okay, so this would just be his way, really quick. I don't want it to keep you guys too long to give you a message from him. He says, keep going, keep doing what you're doing, keep plugging away. Okay. He does mention the soup, so I don't know if you just made soup or had soup. So whatever that
Yeah.
connection is, a very warm, good. Do the things that you enjoy and that you love. And he makes me feel like you just got to a breaking point, a tipping point, where you just kind of finally got to be able to maybe look at some pictures or get to the point where you can start to get back to you. Do you understand this?
Yeah.
You feel like you kind of hit a big point, and I feel like this organization is a big part of it. But I also feel like you're part of other organizations or other things that help you as well. I don't know if you're an artist or you do some sort of artistry work, but whatever it is, art wise or art, not just necessarily art, but art is such a big umbrella. Keep doing that, get to doing that, whether it's drawing or writing music or listening to music or going in nature or whatever. There's a connection to you through art. Do you understand this?
Yeah.
And keep up with that. Okay. I don't know if you sew or crochet or embroider, but there's also an opportunity for you to do that. And if you do that, you're really good at it, or you're efficient at it, or you're something, but you could sell it or whatever. not to make money, but there's a people that can, it's almost like the way someone would cook, the way you sew or embroider. Do you sew or embroider or something like that?
I knit.
Okay,
Hmm.
people see a lot of value and a lot of love in that. Okay. In fact, I wouldn't even be surprised if that's your form of, going through the grief and processing some of the stuff. Okay.
Yeah,
Um, uh, Abby.
that's his cousin.
Okay.
He
So
loved her very much.
you say hi to her. Just so you guys know, as parents, I saw Abbott, but I don't think there's many people named Abbott, so I just took the AB and I guess the first name.
Mm.
But again, we don't always get full names, but I think it's credit to your son for getting me that. Very proud, proud. Say hi to her. Make sure she knows this. Kaysen or Jason. I don't normally get ends of names, but I saw
Mm.
Case. So it could be Casey or Jason.
I
Or
his Abby's brother is Jackson.
what I say? Case. Oh, what I say? Oh, Kaysen Jack. Okay.
Casey and Mason.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. It's like he says Jackson. But I also get that different. By the way, when we did the first session, when I said Jack, I saw Cracker Jacks. So instead of maybe repeating, he showed me a different way. Also, too, once you do for this for a little over an hour, it starts to get a little fuzzy. There is a music connection. Oh, are you showing me that song? Is that why you said Tiffany earlier? He wants me to tell you about the song "I Think We're Alone Now" by Tiffany, or
Mm.
was that Tiffany? I think we're alone now. Doesn't seem to be. You
I
know
know
what?
that song.
Tiffany? Who sings that song?
I don't
I,
know. It
anyway,
probably Tiffany.
how do you are you like if you don't mind me asking, are you alone or is it that song specifically?
I am alone.
Um, but to me he feels like that's where you need to be right now is with you.
Okay.
And you have groups like I would say you're in other groups or other things, maybe a bereavement or
Yep.
something. But this is the group. But also keep doing all that, but you can still be alone at the same time. And you're learning a lot, he says. You're really learning a lot. You really found a new part of yourself. What are you saying about that? Okay. Little sensitive. Don't dwell on the how when it
Mm.
when it comes to his transition. Because it's not as it seems. So I don't know how it happened, but there's an aspect of you not thinking, worrying, or even considering anything about that. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
It's almost like it wasn't what it seemed, is the best way I can word it. So I want you to be okay with that. It was my choice. And do you understand that?
Yeah.
And I also say he's a little funny as well. And I don't mean to be insensitive, but he says, "Oh man, I hope this is his personality." But oh, he's being funny. Was he a little funny? Because he says, "This is one thing you can't control." So I don't know if you find yourself to be a little wanting to control things. He says this is the one thing you can't. But he's not being as sensitive as he's a little more funny. He's trying to make a joke about how you try to control things. I don't mean to be insensitive, but he wants to I want to give credit to his personality to say it's 50% joking, but 50% some things you can't control. So this is something
Yeah, that sounds like him.
is on me, Mom. This is not something
Yeah.
that is on you. To kind of also validate the message from before. Um, I'll go back there again, and he's making me say this differently. The way, the how, the details behind it. It's not what it humanly seemed. What the
Mm.
soul needed, the soul did. And from a human perspective, that kind of doesn't seem right. But what the soul needed to do to get to where he needed to, this is kind of the way it had to happen. So, and again, I don't know anything, but and again, I don't mean to be insensitive. He said, I want you to let that go. I don't want you to and there are times where you don't, but sometimes you go back to it and human wise, justifiably. But from his perspective, I don't want you to think or worry or have any doubts about the how, because that was my choice. And not only was I okay, but I am okay. And then, that's a weird, do you bruise easily? Did someone poke you and you bruise? Did you get a bruise recently, like a black and blue mark?
I don't know that I have. I've gotten a spider bite.
No, this is like, how when you poke someone, they bruise. Did he bruise
Yeah,
easily or did he have a bruise?
he
Was it
did bruise.
okay?
Yeah.
in relation to the passing, or just in general, or both?
In general and both.
Okay.
I just have to take a break. This is just exhausting. It really is. There's just too much stuff here. And it's not, it's just cold reading after cold reading. And then he's got the two women. So if it doesn't relate to one woman, it relates to the other woman somehow. And because we're watching it as observers, we're getting a little confused as to which woman it applies to. So each woman is getting half a reading, kind of, and it's just confusing. It just looks like there's a lot more hits when it's not. When you divide it in half, this isn't that much. And he's asking such generic things that it's very hard, especially if you're a motivated sitter, as these women are, to not find some way of relating to it. I'm actually really surprised whenever the medium starts doing the Scarlett, Scott, Stephanie, Stacy, Stephen, Slater, and so on, that these women are not finding a lot of hits. And that's odd, because it seems like you would be able to figure that out considering how many people you know in life. He has to, about work, okay, whatever. He has to ask her what the child's name is, and it's Devin. I would not be shocked if on his paper he has the word DE written down somewhere, but he forgot to write that one. He didn't write that one down. So otherwise he would have shown it. If it had been something that he had somewhere on his paper, he would have shown it. Okay. What's his connection with mushrooms? And that was really interesting, because he says, what's the connection with mushrooms? And did you see the mother relate how many different ways mushrooms relates to her son's life? She says, we used to go hunting for mushrooms. We like to cook with mushrooms. And he took mushrooms right before he died. That's 3 different ways. And I'm just thinking right off the top of my head that I had these really awesome mushroom glasses. The Mark, my partner, who died, he had bought him a couple years before he died, and he loved those glasses. And I just broke one recently. And I thought, oh man, I broke one of the mushroom glasses. So that would have completely related with me, because they were Mark's glasses. He specifically looked for them and found them, and I broke one. And he was always telling me to be careful with the, whatever glasses and stuff, like I was a child or something. But anyway, so then here he goes. He talked about knitting or some kind of crafting, and that might be helping you with your healing. Well, yeah, okay. Lots of people do something. She says she knits. And then he said, Abby, which she says, oh, that's a cousin. And he was very close to her. I wonder how the other cousins feel whenever they don't come through. Abbott, that didn't make a lot of sense to him, but Abbott there's an Abbott street in my town. It's a big street that we go down often. So, I mean, if he had said Abbott to me, I would have immediately thought of the street, Abbott Street. Kaysen, Casey, Jason, something. He doesn't often get the last part of the name. I don't know why. That makes no sense. And she says, oh, Jackson. And then again, he gets a song. He says, they're telling me to listen to this. You should listen to the song, We Are Alone Now. And then he asks her if she's alone. And boy, she looked like she was going to cry when she said, yeah, I'm alone now. That was really sad. And then, do you bruise easily? Oh my gosh, I'm so ready for this reading to be over. It says 6 minutes. So I'm hoping he's going to be done like in the next minute. And then the rest is just like buy my book and get a reading from me kind of stuff. And because I'm so ready for this to be over. What kind of thing do you say? Do you bruise easily? Does it him? Is he the one who bruises easily normally, or because he died, or what? Please put me out of this. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I can watch more of this guy. This is his plan. He says, I'm going to do hella long readings that just will drive Susan Gerbic crazy, and she will not want to review my work.
There's an okayness with this. There's you know what I would say to you as a human? I can't be bruised anymore. And I think he's talking figuratively and literally, because I think there was some bruising that happened mentally for him, but also physically. And I don't have to, if I can give you peace, Mom, I don't have to deal with that anymore. I'm home. But you got a lot to do there. There is going to be some travel. I don't know if you're doing a retreat, but the solo, thank you. Have you ever thought about doing, and I'm gonna wrap it up because I know we're so over time and I apologize, but have you ever thought of doing a retreat, like a sort of like meditation retreat, or like go to like one of those monks and just be a monk for like 21 days or something? You ever thought about doing that?
Yep, I
Okay.
have.
He makes me feel like your aloneness, so he's piggybacking on this. Oh, maybe it's Belinda Carr. Well, anyway, I think we're alone now. There's an aspect of you being alone, maybe in correlation with a retreat, like a monk kind of thing, still being involved in the groups, but maybe taking a 3 weeks or 4 week program where you can just go and meditate and fast and pray and connect, because I feel like your soul needs that, wants that, desires that, and I feel like if it comes up, it might be a really good thing for you to do. Does that resonate with you?
Great. Yep.
So that's already been a thought you've had.
Yes.
So I feel like he's going like this.
Yay.
Feel like there's a lot of fruit there, by the way. So you can fast but eat fruit. I don't know if you're a fruit eater, but I just see all
Oh,
this fruit.
that might be my boy coming back in.
Okay. Might be doing both because there's just fruit all around like everywhere, like fruit all over the table. They're throwing grapes at me, so there's a fruit connection to this. So it probably will resonate with both of you, but thank you for letting me bring them through.
Thank you
Thank you so much.
This was
Daniel, I just want to
wonderful.
let you know that originally 1967, Think We're Alone Now was Tommy James and the Shondells, and then it was Tiffany in 1987.
Okay. Well, yeah, I was an 80s kid, so I only know.
Yeah,
Done. Again, he said that he only gets impressions, yet he says he's seeing all this fruit, which was meant for the other woman in some sort of retreat and fasting and stuff. And then Jen comes in and says, "Oh, that's my son. He's talking to you." And he says, "Oh, yeah, okay. Well, there's a lot of fruit and he's throwing grapes at me." Now, he said he only gets impressions. So he gets an impression of somebody throwing a grape at him. Do you see this? This is inconsistencies. So when a medium does this kind of stuff, they say a lot of them will start off saying, "Well, here's how it works. Sometimes it doesn't always come through. I don't always get all the names correctly. Sometimes this, sometimes this. Here's all my limitations." Putting his skills down so that when, depending on how the psychic reading goes, he may be able to say, "Well, see, as I said, things don't always come through like that really well for me." And then he's changing the parameters. I mean, there's been multiple times now he's talked about things that he's seen or heard on these readings, yet he says he doesn't, that's not how he does mediumship. It's always through impressions. Tyler Henry, I think, says the same thing and then goes and does specific stuff. That's ridiculous. Okay. Travel. He starts off with travel. I don't know if she reacts or anything fast. I wasn't looking at the screen at the time. And then he says a retreat. And then he goes on with meditation and then a monk going away for a few weeks. And it resonated with her. But, we all are like that too. We have thoughts all the time. So was that a good idea? Is that a good idea? I don't know. How is her pets going to feel about her leaving for 3 weeks? I know my cats would have a freaking fit. They do not want me gone. That would be hard on them. So the other thing I didn't mention was he said about a double burger. Oh God, this is a while back. Geez, this is a page and a half ago. A double burger, fast food. And the woman said that my son fasted for 18 days. And then after he fasted for 18 days, he went to McDonald's 24/7. And there was all this trash in his car with McDonald's and stuff that they found in there. Just so sad, isn't it? I mean, McDonald's fine, but 24/7, the guy was unwell, very sad. And then to have the parents clean that out, knowing it's a visual sign of their son being unwell, that would be really, really, really difficult. Well, I mean, it's all difficult, but on top of it, boy. So maybe they had somebody else do it. I don't know. We're getting into the weeds. I don't want to go there. Okay, so he didn't do any with numbers. So good. I'm so glad I listened to this reading, even though it was really long. But it's interesting because, people get these mediums, as they say, they have tropes that they go to often. So I guess I'll have to watch a few more of his readings and see if on different days, obviously, because he's done with this one. There's only 4 minutes left, and I can't imagine he's going to read somebody for 4 minutes. So and because there's always an outro where they talk about, how he felt and how long he's known he's psychic and where they can find him and about his book or whatever. So, yeah, it would be interesting to continue looking into this Daniel John person to see if maybe he has a trove of tropes. And it's just always interesting to see how that works. Okay, thank you guys for sticking this out with me. That was really difficult, but it was very distracting on a day I need to get definitely distractions. I've got to make time pass. I need to get to the store. I need to get to the post office. I need to get some lunch, and then it'll be Operation Gobble Gotcha time pretty much. So, all right, take care, everybody. Comments. I want to hear what you guys thought.